Hello, welcome to Instructional Program Leadership and Assessment for Spring of 21. I'm Kathy Grover, and I'll be your instructor, facilitator, professor for the semester. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time today to introduce myself to you and sort of take you through the way that the course is laid out. I'll start with introducing myself. I am a former public school teacher and administrator. I worked as a high school math teacher for several years, 10 years, and then 13 years I was in the central office administrative role as the curriculum and instruction person for our school district. I was an assistant superintendent. I live in Springfield, Missouri, and have worked for the Southwest cohort, is what we used to call it, down here in Springfield for Lindenwood, since, probably 2008, 2009 as an adjunct, and I came on full-time with the university in 2016 and am a full-time assistant professor with the university. I'm married. I have 2 grown sons and I have 3 grandchildren, and we're all right here in the area, so we get to see each other quite often, and we really enjoy that. I enjoy working with students in the Educational Leadership Program at Lindenwood, and I'm currently chair to 12 students who are completing their doctoral dissertations through the university, as well as teaching 3 other classes this semester. So it's a busy time, even though our world looks different than it did a year ago now, but it stays busy, and I keep on the ball. So I just wanted to let you know who I am, and I hope you'll do the same a little bit through your reflection videos that you'll be submitting as your first assignment. I'm using Screen-O-Matic today to make this video, and I want to get right on with things because I've set my timer for 15 minutes, and I don't like to give real long video because I know it can get to be sort of boring, so I don't want to do that to you guys. I want to be exciting. What you will see on my screen is the student view of our Canvas shell, and that's what I want to do, is by taking you through it a little bit, sort of give you an idea of how this course is structured. You will notice that you have a few, I would call them housekeeping details to take care of to begin with. I think probably every course that you're in that's online, you do have let me see. Let's just look at our assignments list. I think it's called the Course Ethics Agreement that you will do. For this class, you also have an APA 7 review quiz. It's vitally important in your educational leadership classes that you become familiar with APA 7 formatting for your papers. We are scoring on that on some of your papers now, and so I will be looking for that. Sometimes I will just give you feedback on it. Other times, if it's part of the rubric, I will be scoring you on that as well. So I do encourage you to make sure you have a copy of this that you can refer to, and make sure that you have all of your, what is it that we say? Mind your P's and Q's, or be sure to dot your I's and cross your T's. Make sure that you're getting all those details taken care of. As you notice, I switched to the assignment section of the Canvas shell. I had been on the home page, which looks like this, and that way you know where you're in your instructional program leadership class. I recommend that primarily that you view the class through the modules section. In the modules section, we have some different sections of that you can look at. First of all, there's a research section that is all about APA 7. There's some little helpful hints. There's the style guide that we use at Lindenwood Library Guides on APA 7th edition. These are links. The others are actual documents that you can look at to get some help. Next is a link to the NELP district standards. These standards are used in your assignments. You will need to go in from time to time and review and refresh your memory on what these standards have to say. Then following that, you will see we begin with Module 1, and I like to start, I learned this through Lindenwood Professional Development, which they do a great job with. I like to have a place that's called Start Here, and this is just a link you can go to that gives you some information about the class. I have put a little saying here that I think is very appropriate. Don't lose at the starting line. In other words, let's begin. Don't put things off. Let's get the semester started properly. And so that's my little start here page. And then if you look, you can just scroll over. This isn't exactly where I want it to be. Let me see if I can scoot that. You can see that there's a next. You can click the next button and it will take you to the next screen. So here it says the instructor introduces the key learning concepts of each module using a video or audio. That's where you will find this video uploaded. And then you can just go to the next assignment and the next one, and it puts everything in the order for you to do it. Here's the course ethics agreement that you need to do, and so forth. Now I want to go back to the modules page because I want you to see how the modules are laid out. This first module has some of that housekeeping information that I discussed. That is what I would call those first 4 pieces. And then we scroll on down to some assignments that are going to be sort of repetitive. We have only 4 modules in this class, but there is quite a bit of reading to do, some research that you will need to do to find some peer-reviewed articles to support some of your writing, because we will ask for sources to be cited and so forth, which again refers us back to APA 7, making sure our citations and references are properly formatted. The other thing that I want you to see here is that in each module, we want to sort of start at the beginning with just what our current level of understanding is and our past experience. Where are you with the idea of, and so this reflection video or podcast, where are you with this idea of evaluating, designing, and implementing high quality curricula and supporting academic and non-academic student programs? Okay, so that's a lot of stuff, but what we want you to do is to take a look. We'll go into this assignment. Here is some explanation of that. You do not have to have done a lot of pre-reading for this. You are asked to read Dr. Alsobrook's chapter 1 and 2 of his book, Unlimited Learning. I want to let you know that that book, not only is it available in print, it is available in as an electronic book, which might be easier and quicker to get a hold of. Unlimited Learning is a Kindle Hunt product. If you go to Kindle Hunt Publishers and type in Unlimited Learning, you will have the option to purchase it either online or as a hardback or maybe even a paperback, but it's less expensive to get the online and it will be available to you more quickly. After looking at just these few things and thinking about what you've read in Dr. Alsobrook's book, then what we want you to do is, or what I'm wanting you to do, is just to take a look at, or to take a thought and make a video of where are you currently in your understanding. And if you say, I really don't know about that much, that's fine, because that's what this module is all about, is doing some investigation and learning more about those things. On this particular assignment, I've also given you some options for creating videos to upload to Turnitin. And so you will see option 1 is Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm using today. Another is Microsoft Stream that you can use. I know there are lots of tools out there to make videos, to upload, and you are welcome to use whatever you're most comfortable with. You will need to be able to upload it in Canvas. And so we've got all of that information there. Now, another piece of each of your assignments that you will find right before the place to go to the previous assignment or to the next assignment is a rubric. Here, the reflection video podcast, and I give description of the criterion. To get 10 to 7 points, you reflect on all the questions that are up above, and you add some thoughtful responses using your experience. And it might be some research that you've done, but you're not required to do research for this part, because I really want to know what is your current understanding. 7 to 4 points. Podcast reflects on questions and adds some personal responses. You can see it's not all questions and it's not thorough. 4 to 0 points, a video or podcast is not submitted, or if it's submitted, it's very loosely covering anything that was asked. And so this is the way you can see your scoring guide. On every assignment, the scoring guide will be there. Be sure to read it, because that is what I'm going to score you by on every single assignment. Okay, we've looked at the first piece and my time is clicking away, so I want to go back, or actually I'll go back down here and go to the next piece so you can see the next assignment. The next assignment is the same topic, but here you're going to do a critical analysis. And the description is here. You're going to have some additional resources given to you to read and consider. And some of these have links within them that you're directed to go to. So you go to the overall page and then you go to the pieces in between and just think about all of these different things. There's also a video here for you to watch. And we want you to take all of this information and the reading that you've done in Dr. Alsobrook's book for the last part of the last assignment, and sort of bring it all together, synthesize all of that. And then you will see your critical analysis rubric is here at the bottom. So here you're starting to gain some information that we've assigned, do some reading and synthesize it. For the next assignment in this is where you're going to do a discussion post. This is where you will be writing some information as a discussion post. You're discussing ideas from the article. This should not be just a copy paste of your critical analysis. This is you discussing, throwing some ideas and things, and maybe even some questions out there for other students, so that you can get your ideas out there. And then also you'll notice in the rubric down here at the bottom, part of your score is that you also respond to at least one other classmate's post. On each of these, you are to respond to one classmate's post. The only one that does not have that is the lowest score, a 0 to 4. Okay, so this is the topic at the top of the first module, evaluating, designing, and implementing high-quality curriculum supporting academic and non-academic student programs. And those are the assignments that you will have for each one. Now, when I click to the next, you'll see here we have an assignment for reflection and literature review. So now that you have done the learning and you've done some review with the literature, we want you to write a bit of a more formal paper, something more like you would put information into chapter 2 of a dissertation, where you have reflected on the literature, you're thinking about what you know, and you're synthesizing this information. There will always be a certain number of sources that we expect for you to cite and to consider as you do this, but you can look at your rubric to see how that's going to roll out. And your directions are up here, and you can go back to the resources from the earlier assignments if you need to refresh your memory on some things that you've thought about and learned as you've gone through this section. And you'll notice up here is where the due dates are. This one's due February 7th, 100 points, and sometimes you'll have more than one thing due on a due date. Due dates are always Sundays at 11:59, and so that sort of gives you an idea by going through the first module of what it is we're going to be expecting. Now, here's what I'm planning to do. Each Monday after assignments are due, your reflection assignment, I will post another video talking about the upcoming module. And so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what we're looking for that might be a little different than what we've done in the past. The first two modules are very similar. The third module is a little bit different. And then the fourth module that's our culminating module. And in that video, you are going to need to, or in that module, you are going to actually do an assignment that you will upload on Folio Tech. It's the only one you'll have to upload on Foliotech, and I will talk about that as we get closer to that part of the semester, because for now, I think this is enough. Anytime that you have any questions, if you would like to visit with me over the phone, email me, or set up a Zoom session or a video chat session of some kind, I'm perfectly willing to do that, happy to do that. I like to get to know my students, even though we don't get to have synchronous class or meet in person. It gives me a chance to get to know you. So anyway, here's to a great semester. I hope we all just have a really good, productive, healthful semester.